conversation. I am delighted that we have Heidi, the Narrowboat Pirate, with us today, and Paul from Narrowboat Life Unlocked. If this is your first time watching, well, let me tell you a bit about what we do. We come together on a Thursday and have a good chat about a topic which sometimes we just pick randomly, and we just sort of unpack it and explore it. There is no answers usually at the end of it. It's just a good conversation. That's all we hope for. There's no perfectly curated sound bites going on here. In fact, it's lucky if the technology all works and we can hear each other. So that's what we hope for. That said, Paul's got a slight delay on his line, but someone else is saying, did I get the time wrong? That I'm asking that because now I'm wondering, did I schedule it for the wrong time? Because Heidi, you thought it was a different time, didn't you? You were busy 2 minutes ago, weren't you?
Yeah, I was making. I've not even made a brew. Yeah, I was making budgies. I was going to get myself all prepared half an hour before, make sure my lippy was all right. Yeah,
and here we are. Well, the best conversations. The best conversations are the ones that are just impromptu. So we'll take that. So let's just do a quick where we are, what we've been doing, a quick catch up. So Paul, where are you? What you been up to this week?
I love these lives. Love them. Yeah.
How long Paul's delay? Paul, are you there? Can you hear us? No.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you where I've been. I'm actually on the Llangollen whilst we're waiting for Paul, and I'm absolutely loving it. Been single-handing all the locks of bridges.
Yeah, we're on the Llangollen Canal, and then last week I had to do a few locks on my own. I know Heidi's used to that, but it's the first time I've done them. I did eight locks on my own. I feel like a proper grown-up now.
Paul, you are a proper boater. That delay is long.
Yeah, so was I talking at the same time? Because I've never done a live before. I don't know what I'm doing. Did I talk at the same time as Paul? And we have to wait for a light or anything?
Yeah, no, Heidi, you're absolutely fine. This is standard for us on our conversation because Maxine and Paul, they're cruising. They cannot always get a strong internet signal, which means that sometimes we get delays, sometimes we get all sorts of things. Paul's got quite a lengthy delay, and which is why that's just a pain in the bum. It's just a pain in the bum. We will hopefully see if it gets better. If not,
it's going to be a laugh. It's
going to be chaos.
Can I just ask? Is my delay really bad? Because I run up to Heidi's boat.
Yeah, well, you could. That's up to you. Is that? Do you want to do that, Paul? Let's see how long this delay is.
Is it really bad?
Anytime you want, Paul, love. But I've got me washing hanging up in back cabin, so don't judge.
Okay.
I have to move it because I've
never
never
I'm going to knock on. I'm going to knock on a pirate.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right,
carry on chatting, and I'll run up there.
Yeah.
Okay, do it, Paul.
Let me just
get a bit of
let me just go and open my back doors. Let me go and open my back doors.
Okay.
Don't you smashing them in? Where's my chair? So that's the arrangement for this. Let me just go.
I really thought today it was going to run smoothly. So nothing further from the truth, to be honest. So anyway, let me tell you a bit more about our meaningful midweek conversation. We just try and have a good chat just try and go deeper into a subject. So today we're talking about habits and routines. Quite dull, you would think, but no, I think it's going to be life-changing. Anyway, did you open the door? Can you get in?
I've opened my back doors ready to take Paul, so we'll be all right. Yeah.
Excellent. So finish telling us where you are and what you've been up to this week.
So I've currently, over the last couple of weeks, I've been single-handing myself all the way up the Llangollen, and I tell you what, them bloody lift bridges and things, it's been a bit hard, to be honest, but I'm here, I'm not actually all the way up there yet. I'm in Ellesmere, and and then we've got Paul and Anthony not far away, so it's been good. It's beautiful. I love autumn on the canals. It's just gorgeous, isn't it?
It is so beautiful, isn't it? It is so beautiful, and because the weather can be so different from day to day. So you can get like a really foggy day. I mean, they're just so like beautiful in their own way, aren't they? And yet when
on the trees and everything.
When the sun shines, it is just beautiful. So let's just say hello to some of the people that are joining us. There's lots of people. So hello to everybody, to Nick, to Harry, to Philip, to Joanne, to Anna, to Colin. Oh, there's so many. Emma, Rue's Life.
Everyone.
These are all your fans, Heidi. These are all
one of them there I've just seen my friend Anna. I went to school with Anna.
Oh, so, Anna.
Well, obviously, it was only like 5 years ago, but
yeah. Sally, Faz, David, Mark, Rick, Sean.
Will then, Narrowboat Will. Oh, love Narrowboat Will.
Loads. In fact, I can't even say hello to everybody. Bloody hell, there is so many. So if you're here just for Heidi, you may have you may have to put up with some deeper, meaningful conversation. Because that's what this is about. On
and that's good as well. I am a bit deep sometimes as well.
Well, sometimes it's just good, isn't it? It's just good to have a look at something and have a good chat.
And I love watching these things that you do with Maxine and Paul. I really, enjoy them. I do get a lot out of them.
Oh, that's really good. I mean, I get a lot out of it because I use it as like a weekly therapy session. Basically, I turn up every week as a mess, and then like everybody, we just like explore like a subject, and I just feel better at the end of it. So so that's good. That's good. We got lots of people joining us, which is brilliant.
So people are just come in through the back, love. So some people asking about the rum. Yeah, I don't drink all the time, guys. The thing is, me boat's called the Rum Wench. The channel, my business is the Pirate Boat, and my channel's a Narrowboat Pirate. So obviously you've got to include the rum, but I don't drink it all the time. I have a strict rule after 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So
that's does that apply Monday through to Sunday, or just weekends, or do you have different rules for weekends?
Yeah, no, to be honest, because I'm on my own, I don't really drink. I mean, when I've had a hard cruising day, I'll get in. It's like when I was teaching, used to get in a glass of wine or glass just as that was a relaxed time now, good day. Yeah. But I think people think I'm sitting on my own drinking. We just go and check me. I'm just going to check on Paul.
Okay. Let's. Well, I'm so glad they were moored close to each other so that Paul could literally leg it down the towpath to Heidi's boats. So normally Maxine is here with us and she can't make it today. So it is just me, Paul, and Heidi. So let's see how this goes. So today we're going to talk about, as I said, habits and routines. Are you a fan of routine? Let us know, because that is going to be the first question of today. Heidi, is he there?
He's coming now. Yeah, he's just taking his time. You know what he's like.
It's just like he's taking his shoes off.
Oh, I don't know. I've got wooden floors, so it's easy to clean mine. You'll have to take your coat off. It's 40 degrees in it.
I've been rubbing as well.
Yeah. I mean, I might have to organise it a bit better. You're right sitting there.
Hey, Paul! Oh man, this is funny. Oh, so we're talking today about habits and routines, right? And the reason we're talking about this is because I have had not one but two epiphanies this week, right? So I was trying to work out how I could remember to take my vitamin tablets, right? I've had them in the cupboard for, well, since we moved here a year ago, and we're just about to move back out. And I thought, I don't want to just keep moving these boxes. I want to take the vitamins. So I remembered something from Atomic Habits. Have you read that book, Heidi?
No.
Have you read that book, Paul?
No, I haven't read it either.
Well, I read it about 3 years ago, and it's only just now that I'm like applying it, right? But there's something in there called habit stacking. So if you want to have a habit, you stack it with another one, right? So I decided that when I make a coffee in the morning, which I do religiously, first thing, I will take my vitamins then. And it's worked. For 8 days now, I've remembered to take my vitamins. All right. So then I understood that if you want to make lifestyle change, then it's habits and routines, not willpower, which was mind-blowing, right? So that was the first thing. Second thing, I then understood that the life we're living right now is due to our habits and routines. Okay, so are habits and routines the key to living a meaningful life, right?
I don't know, Heidi. How many of these books have you read, Lisa? And you've only just discovered this.
I know. But you know, like sometimes when it just clicks into place. Yeah. So habits and routines is what we're talking about today. And I just asked everybody, are you a fan of routine? Yes or no? Heidi. Oh God.
Right. Well, right. I need a certain routine because I'm on my own and I have to organize myself, as in, you know, if I don't do the fire in the morning, I'm freezing me bits off. If you know, I have to make sure, because I'm on my own, I have to go get me shopping in because I'm going to moor in the middle of nowhere. So I have to have a certain amount of routine to keep me sort of organized. But also, I like to just, you know, if I'm feeling something, if I'm writing some music, suddenly I lose the plot and suddenly 8 hours has gone and I think, where's that gone? What, you know, I'm not eating, I'm not. So I need some sort of routine because you know, I have to, but I don't like it, you know.
You don't
but
like
I'm not
it.
6 o'clock at night. But there's things that are determined by our lifestyle, aren't there?
Definitely.
Things like we have to, you know, run the engine in a, you know, because we can't run it at 10 o'clock at night when we suddenly remember. So we have to, which gives us our power, generates all our power. So there's things where we need sort of routine that guides our day. You know, I've got to put the engine on. I've got to get some coal off the roof and go out in the rain. You know, there's things like that. But the rest, we're quite free, aren't we?
Yeah. Well, I was opposite. So I used to have, it was almost like being back at school where I wrote down 6 a.m. walk the dog, 6:30 do this, 7 o'clock go to the gym, and I got loads done and it was dead productive. But it was much easier in a house. And I think I've only just realised with Heidi saying that it's living on a boat makes it difficult to have a routine because you don't know what days you're going to move, you don't know when you're going to go for water. Something can happen, you know, that delays your travel plans. You could, you know, get something in the weed hatch or troubles with your boat. I think it's made it more difficult. I've probably got out of that routine. I'm still catching my breath.
Yeah. Take a minute.
Well,
I'm similar, right? I think I'm not a fan of routine, but then it's like essential to get like the basics done. So you have to, you know, have some routine. But I kick against it. I don't like it. It doesn't. I just don't like it. But I'm better with it, if that makes sense. I also, although I'm not on a boat at the moment, our days aren't typical. You know, it's not like get up, go to work, come home. You know, on a Monday we do this, Tuesday we do that. Our life is all over the place. So again, I hear what you're saying, Paul. It's difficult to create routines when things aren't like set in stone. Let's just have a look at the comments, see if anyone is a lover of routine.
I'm the same.
I saw one from Narrowboat Will pop up, and I'm sure he said that he liked routine. Let's have a look. Anyone else a lover of routine? Just give us like a thumbs up or a yes or a no. So there's so much banter.
I used to be a teacher for 13 years, and I had such a strict routine and everything. And I mean, giving that job off and going to India, Thailand and everything, coming back, it's made me see everything differently. And I'm so free, and you know, so compared to that, because as soon as you used to get in from work, you're then marking, you're prepping your lesson, the wine, you know, it's all you're in that I can't do that anymore. I feel that whole structured regime of life it just feel like I'm in a coffin, you know. It's trapped. I hated it.
Well, we've got mixed views about routine. Burn on board. Humans are creatures of habit. Routines creep in. That's very true. That is very true. Who noticed during lockdown that their days saw a sort of a loose form of routine?
Have all that time to do what you want to do.
Yeah.
And I think some of the things that we've loved about being on a boat, especially Anthony and myself, and you probably agree, it's those spur of the moment things that you can do. You know, if you're more up somewhere and you've got friends there, you can go for a drink, you can go for a coffee, you can just chat for hours.
They've been leading me astray since I've moored next to these pair. They keep dragging me around everywhere.
That's perfect. That's perfect. For some reason, my Alexa has just like made some sort of noise as if it's going to make an announcement. I don't know what that's going on. Jacqueline says, I definitely love routine. Find it very hard to motivate myself otherwise. That's a really, good thing about routine, isn't it? It's like you can get stuff done. So Mark's a thumbs up there to routine. Pottering on the canal, yes to routine. Andrea, not sure, says no thanks to routine. Now this is a really good point here. This is great. From Steph, I like my AM routine and my PM routine. In between, I like to be flexible. I work and live in a house. That's actually because morning routines and evening routines are like a big thing, aren't they? In the self-help, the productivity sort of thing. People always, talk about the importance of morning and evening routines. But I love that, if you nail one and, you start the day right, finish the day right, in between, well, that's perfect. I think Steph's got the right idea there. So here's another question for you. Do you think routines are restrictive or liberating? So do you feel like they tie you down, or actually you get your stuff done? A bit like what Steph says, she's liberated. She's got like a morning and evening routines down in the middle. There's that. What do you reckon? Restrictive or free?
I think it can be restrictive. I used to be a real stickler for doing all my morning routine, and I felt fantastic, but I don't think you can keep that up for the whole of your life, can you? I did that for about 2 or 3 years where I'd do meditation, have a read, go to the gym, walk the dog, go swimming, and by 10 o'clock in the morning I had the rest of the day to do what I wanted, and it was brilliant. But then it becomes very tiring and exhausting to keep doing that. So now I have these things pop up every day on my computer. These are your list of things to do. I don't even read them.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're too organised there, because that's my problem. I'm like, crap, I forgot to do that today. I'll do it tomorrow.
Yeah. I mean, I'm the same. Like, you know, I wake up with great intentions, and then I think I'll definitely do that this afternoon. And then by the afternoon, I'm like, oh, just ran out of time. I'll definitely do that tomorrow. And there's these things that I just pull along from day to day that I've just forgotten. So I also used to have the whole morning routine nailed down. Heidi, I don't know. Do you read much like self-help or stuff like that? Me and Paul are self-help junkies.
Lisa, let me be honest with you. No. But right, I'm a big reader. I love reading, and I have a Kindle, and I read every single night. But I'm into adventure. I've read every single Wilbur Smith book, Peter Rimmer. I'm reading Ken Follett. I love adventure where I go off on an adventure, on the high seas, and that's it. I'm a big kid. I mean, they're adult books, not like Mr. Ben or Mr. Man or Peter and Jane. I do love, a proper good fit, getting into the right good story, but it's all about adventure. My life is all about adventure and having fun. Yeah.
Which is brilliant. Fiction is brilliant. I love reading fiction too. And I didn't read fiction for decades because I was on this like self-help crusade to make me the best I can be, right? And I read all the books. And Paul, we've read a lot of the same books, haven't we? So there's a book called The Miracle Morning. Right. And I'll just summarize it for you, Heidi. Basically, for the first hour of your day, you do 10 minutes of 6 different activities, 10 minutes of exercise, 10 minutes of reading, 10 minutes of affirmations, 10 minutes of visualizations, 10 minutes of meditation. What am I missing, Paul?
Keeping a journal.
Scribing. That was it. That was the S. Right. Yeah. Writing in journal. So the idea is you do that for your first hour, and as with anything, right, it becomes like elitism. You know, you join like Facebook groups and everyone's like, I'm getting up at 6 and do mine. So then there's people, I'm getting up at 5:30. For a long time, I used to get up at 4:45.
Oh my!
I know. And I did it for ages.
Wow!
And I didn't feel like super productive, but by lunchtime I was done. My day was done. I had nothing left to give. So
I'll tell you what, though, you slept well. She was exhausted by 9 o'clock.
See, I get up and fumble around to make a coffee. And then I sit down and I check Facebook, see, oh God, somebody's posted a picture of a lasagna. And I'm like, I probably need a bit more of this. I've never once done yoga or but we all learn a bit.
So well, anyway, so liberating or restrictive, just one way or the other. What do you reckon about routines?
I don't know.
Now, let me just say one thing. So I see routine as, like you were saying, 9 o'clock I'm doing this, 10 o'clock I'm doing that. Yeah. Whereas I think there might be a slight difference between routine and having structure. So like a looser structure. So as long as I get this, that, and this done today, I'm happy. But as in, I'm not into the whole route. Sometimes I'll do them in an afternoon. Sometimes I'll do them at night.
It can be restrictive. Is my answer.
I think so. And that's from someone who was like tried to be like, as a routine so tight to try and get the most out of a day. And I think, it's not always worked. So
would you not feel good? Like sometimes if I've got up in the morning and I've put the washing, like today now, I've took all the bed off the bed, put it all in the washing machine. I've started on my badge orders, been printing, started making them. And when I get them done, I'm like, woohoo! I feel great. So there is a bit of what was that? Okay, it was a long word.
It's like liberating. It's liberating because you feel you've done everything that you've got to get done, and you're like, I love that feeling. I feel like I'm winning at life when when I've got all those things going on. I just think, you know, yeah, and that's why I sort of tried to nail down the routines, but I don't think it works. Next question. Do routines work for creative people? What do you reckon?
Yeah, I think they could. I mean, if I'm not in a routine, I don't get my artwork done or editing done. I don't know, it's a difficult one. I think I'm in that stage where I used to be super organized and followed a strict routine. Now I don't, but I feel like life could be more organized. More productive. Yeah, but when I say productive, I don't mean work, just, you know, having time to do the things I want to do that bring me joy.
Yeah, it's about making time, isn't it? Heidi, you mentioned about writing music. Now,
just to get around all the YouTube thing, I thought I'll make my own.
Which is brilliant. But do you find you have to make time for that? And does having a routine help you find the time, or do you just think, no, that's what I'm going to do right now?
The thing is, it's like with editing, people don't realize how long something takes. You know what I mean? And I sit there and I'm like, do, playing something, then I change the sound. And it could take me like 2-3 weeks to write a 2-minute piece of music. But things happen. It's like we sat there for ages faffing around trying to make a sound, not even a melody, just a sound. And I've got nothing after 8 hours. But other times I'm there and I start, oh, that's nice. Start playing something and all this. And the next minute, it's 10 o'clock at night. I've not had my tea. I forgot to put engine on to charge back. I just lose time. So sometimes your creative juices are flowing, and other times are dried up, aren't they?
And I think that working on anything creative isn't helped when you feel really pressured by time.
Oh, definitely.
I mean, if you feel that you've got to create a piece of music because it needs to go into a vlog or something and you need to get that done, I mean, all of a sudden it just doesn't work, doesn't it? But whereas getting those other jobs done, nailed down, creates that time, a bit like what Steph said earlier. So you know,
have a look at these. What people?
So
you sweating?
I'm sweating.
I can't breathe.
Let me.
Big hatch.
Here we go.
Can't breathe. Full that stuff.
It's very warm, very cozy.
Is it?
In here.
Is it? It's like a sauna. So Susan says, I'm an artist, and if I'm working on a piece of work, I like to get it finished. So I need routine for that. So that's, you know, like what we were saying about making time. Roy, coffee and food routine is good, and just fit everything else around it. I love that. That is, you know, that is
up. Right.
Can you? Narrowboat, well, being creative is tiring at times. It's exhausting. That's what it is. Can you see him, Heidi? Can you see?
Yeah, I'm just going back now and having a read. I can't see. I'm like,
that's
How'd you get through the bridges, Heidi?
oh, yes. Close my eyes and like, oh, did it?
Panda Art Studios. I always feel when it comes to my creative ventures, I can't force it, otherwise it won't end up how I want. I think that applies to most of us, doesn't it? And I think it's the time issue. That's where the routine helps, not in carving out that space in that busy time.
Yeah, do you know what find yourself, Heidi? If we'll just carry on chatting amongst ourselves. Sometimes it does help to have a deadline, and if you don't force yourself to start, I think that's the hardest thing, isn't it, with artwork or anything like creating music, is starting. Once you start, you really can get in the flow, or you could procrastinate and never get it done.
But we have things as well, like it's like suddenly I'm most creative at night time. I mean, I'm a bit of a night bird, and sometimes I go to bed till 2 a.m. But I'm there and I'm editing. I've got my headphones on, and I'm doing this, that, and the other. And then suddenly, laptop's like, not 5. You need to shut down 5% and all this. And I'm thinking, I'm just getting going. I'm just doing something really good, and then boom, power.
Yeah,
that's frustrates me. I get all frustrated.
Yeah. That's not good. That's
like,
not good. Being creative, is it? That is
like, God. But yeah, so things like that frustrate me. But I am a night one. I like
having no internet. It drives
I'm me. I'm me. And people saying, "Oh, you should be, just looking at the ducks and the thing." And he's saying, "Yeah, but I have to work.
Yeah.
I have to earn money. I know I might look it, but I'm not getting a pension yet. It's like we've got to learn things, haven't we?"
Oh, Lee Jen, sorry, can't watch with that woman yelling down the video and shouting down the video. It's not a conversation. It's her interrupting it all the time.
Is that me?
No, that's me. She's going to see you on your next vlog. That's me. I'm so sorry. Yeah, welcome to our midweek conversation.
Yeah,
that's what it looks like. Yeah, I'm very yelly. I really
am. So you keep us organised, because otherwise we'll just be sat talking,
waffling.
Yeah, talking about the pub,
about rum and coffee.
Yeah.
Oh, so
put a comment. Stained Glass put a comment before saying all the answers are found at the bottom of a rum bottle, and it made me think that. So if you did see me tittering, I had seen that comment.
Yeah. Well, maybe that's it. All the answers are found at the bottom of a rum bottle.
Life for me is all about balance. So you've got to, you're not wrong with after hard days cruising, having a drink, socialising, but also you've got to do other things like drink coffee.
Yeah.
Balance, isn't it? It's
drink
balance.
Water, drink water.
Balance, isn't it? It is.
No, I don't.
So if we look at like routines are essentially like a string of habits, aren't they? They're something that we do habitually. So looking at habits, what habit would you like to break?
You can go first on this one, love. Yeah, I need to have a think.
I think my worst, it's procrastination. It's so easy, isn't it, to sit on your phone because you've got work to do and think, like so today I've been really productive. I was up at 5:45. I was out dead early with the dog. I'd have called for a coffee, but I think Heidi was still in bed. I've done some editing and I've done some office work.
God,
I know, but then I looked at my watch and I thought it must be lunchtime. It's only 10 o'clock, right? I thought I'm going to have a coffee, sit down with Dexter, and have a little go on my phone.
Right, you're not right.
No, and then half an hour later, I'm like, I could be editing.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm beating myself up for not working.
Well, this morning I made a coffee and I printed some badges, and then suddenly Paul was ringing me, going, "Heidi, would you go on in a minute? Where are you?" Yeah, that.
You two getting your shower at midday.
Yeah, I know. I have a shower. But yeah, for me, what is procrastination? What's that?
Just putting things off, putting it off.
Oh yeah,
faffing around. Yeah,
I don't mean to put things off. It just happens.
Yeah.
It just happens naturally.
Yeah.
My bad habit is things take me too long. When I think somebody's like with the badges today, by the time I've done all my designs, because you think a design's going to take you a minute, and I've then been designing the badge, then I have to get it proofed, then I have to print it, and then and I make 80p on this badge, and it's took me 3 hours. It's not. But things take you longer, don't they? Things take longer than I think. I always think, I'll have that done in no time. And I think I have high expectations of myself, and I just let myself down all the time. I think that's what happened to me.
What we need is an assistant.
Yeah, to do all the stuff we don't want to do. And I think that's a really valid point, Heidi. Stuff does take longer than we think, and then we it's almost like set ourselves up for failure, because we're like, I'm going to do this and this, and then we end up like just like being able to do one of those because it's taken so long, and then we think we failed. So I
don't let it bother me. That's the other thing with me. So if I don't get everything done sometimes I'll pull an all-nighter, stay up till 2 or 3. If I don't get everything done in a day, I think, there's always tomorrow, isn't there? Always tomorrow. Yeah. We had a good time, have we had a laugh, have we enjoyed ourselves? That's all that matters.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
The habit I'd like to break is picking my phone up when I first get up. That is my thing. It's like next to me, and I'm like, don't pick it up. And then I'm like, like that.
It's hard, isn't it? Because you're dying to see what people had for tea last night, aren't you?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm like, oh,
Position the flat line in front
them
of the fire.
sausage rolls turn out all right that Gloria was making.
Yeah.
You know, it's like a sleepless nights. Once
Thinking about it.
So, have you ever broken a habit, and what did you do to replace it? Can you think of anything? Like it doesn't have to be big.
habits. What,
Yeah.
like smoking or something.
Yeah. Well, I used to. I used to pick up my phone. Well, I still do that, but I used to head straight to the news. Right when I woke up, right, that was it. I'd read the news. That was a habit that I broke about 2 years ago, and I just deleted all the news or apps off my phone. So now I'd still pick up my phone, but as you said, Heidi, it's like, you know, it's lighter stuff, like, you know,
lasagna.
Yeah, lasagna and sausage rolls. I mean, not a bad way to start the morning, I feel. So yeah.
So nice sausage.
Yeah, I think my bad habit was probably self-help books. So I had a big pile of them.
Don't lend them me.
A big pile of self-help books that I had to get rid of when we moved onto the boat. And I thought, how many of these am I going to read before I actually go out and do the stuff that's in the book? And there's nothing beats life lessons, is there?
Yeah. And nothing beats having a chinwag on the towpath.
No.
I love that. Just talking to people and finding out about other people and what they're doing and sharing. I love just doing that rather than socializing. Socializing.
Yeah, that's one habit I really had to break. I was always on the boat. I was always on the boat working, and I thought, this isn't the life I signed up for. And now that I think, do you know what? That can wait till tomorrow. Our friends are on their boat next door. Let's go and have a coffee with them, or let's go and have a chat. It feels amazing.
It does, doesn't it? Even if it's just for half an hour, it breaks up your whole day. You feel like, because I live on my own. I'm on my boat. I do on my boat on my own, and sometimes it's very easy. If I'm more in the middle of nowhere, which I absolutely love doing. Sometimes 3 days have gone. I think, I've not spoke to anybody.
Yeah.
It's good when I've come to like a bit of a town now. It's important to just have
interaction with other
people. Because us as vloggers and creators, we get lost in. I wear headphones and we get lost in this. I enjoy it. Don't get me wrong. I love it. I'm there and I'm thinking, but it's important to make an effort, even if it's just going outside and just having a little walk and having a chat. It's important. Otherwise, you're
going to be in your own.
You end up going insane like me.
Well, you're right. I mean that. We've talked on these conversations before, Heidi. It's one of the things that both me and Paul say all the time is conversations, people, those things, they fill us up. You feel so much better after having a good chat. I love it. I absolutely love it. So let's just have a quick look at let's have a look at this one. Here we go. Rue's life. I got rid of my TV about 15 years ago, replaced it with walks, gardening, getting outdoors, wild swimming, basically filled my time with meaningful things and positivity. That is fantastic. You've often said about giving up TV, haven't you, Paul? That's one of yours. Yeah.
Can I ask you a question, a serious question here for Heidi?
Yeah.
Right.
Gosh.
I find it.
I do.
I find it difficult to take Heidi seriously. No, I find it difficult to. I've forgotten now what I was going to say. I find it difficult to be creative. Like Heidi said, I feel more creative at night, and I'd love to sit there editing or doing artwork for hours till 1 or 2 in the morning.
You're always in the pub,
No, but when you've got a partner, I sometimes find that difficult because I feel guilty. I should be.
Yeah, no, I did when.
Yeah. So do you feel it's easier?
I'm like,
to stay up till 1 in the morning being creative because you don't feel guilty doing that.
Yeah, I just it doesn't bother me at all. I quite enjoy my evening. Well, no, I always did. Don't get me wrong. No, I'd rather have a significant other. It's because I've got no else to do. So I think, do this.
That's a really good.
We'll go out and have to have a nice night in, romantic night, candlelight, and a bit of. Or do I do some editing? Oh, let's do some editing. That's the only choice I've got. I'm going to edit tonight. Hey!
Oh, let's have a look at this. Helen says, listening to this, I realise how life can constrain creativity, routines to get me to work, living in a house, conforming to society's rules. Not much adventure, I can tell you. I wonder if there is a conversation. I think we've touched on it before, Paul, with Maxine, where we've talked about how to have more adventure. I mean, last week was how to have more fun, wasn't it? But adventure, I think, is really, really important. It keeps us alive,
Every day I try to have an adventure, whether it's walking to the post office or whipping the bike out, or I try to make every day an adventure. Your life can change in an instant.
It can.
And I also every day try to have a bit of a laugh. And normally it's itself, but I think you've got to laugh every day and just get excited about something. I mean, sometimes for me, there's nothing more exciting than go in the post office. But you just got to try and look, like, oh, I'm gonna get,
especially this one down here, because they really cheer you up, don't they?
Sometimes I make a flask and some butties. But you just got to, because sometimes it's like 6 miles away from nearest post office, and I try and make a bit of adventure out of it.
Yeah, I love an adventure. I love an adventure, and I too can get very excited over the most mundane things, which is really quite challenging for people around me. I just feel that like so much of life is so exciting. But let's just have a look. I think Gary has just popped up and he's trying to edit. And if he's trying to edit, this is what he says. Shh, he's trying to edit. I was going to say, good luck editing with this noise going on. And I saw a comment here from Susan. I get loads of ideas at 1 and 2 in the morning, but I also love my bed. Stopped smoking over 40 years ago, replaced it with food. Bad idea.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, Susan. I think there's worse things to it. I love food. Food gives me such joy. Yeah, such joy.
I love food, but I'm an absolute terrible cook. I tend to, at the moment, I'm trying to go keto because I need to lose loads of weight. And I've been living on pepperoni and Baby Bells. That's it. Sort of living on. I mean, we went for a meal the night and ended up not having, I just ate chips and I'm trying to I just live it because I can't cook.
Oh, well, there you go.
I mean, I've cooked a chicken the other night. I've got one of them on from Asda. It's a frozen thing with sauce. You just throw it in the oven. I can do that. I can throw things in an oven and make potatoes.
So your meals aren't very adventurous.
Oh no. Crap.
No. Oh, so I was going to say I've got a couple more questions, but I've just I noticed a question which is actually about narrowboat life, but so it's worth just having a look at this one. Joe says, hi Heidi and Paul, please can you both let me know what the advantages and disadvantages living on a narrowboat during the winter months? Have you got any for Joe?
I'm going to tell you now. It is the best. I absolutely adore it this time of year. I really, really do, because number one, there's no big pressures to move all the time. Yes. Between the end of October and the beginning of April, is it?
So, yeah.
All the 48-hour moorings, well, most of them go to 14 days. So you can get somewhere and you can actually relax. You're not keeping having to move, right? Power can be a bit of an issue, but I've addressed that with loads of stuff, which I'm going to go into in a video in the future. But you're toasty warm. It's like in here. It gets sweating me.
Yeah, it's a question everybody asks, isn't it? Does it get cold on a boat? And it's the opposite.
The downside for me this year is the expense.
Yeah.
Because everything's gone up.
Yeah.
But it has for everybody. So it has for people in houses. It has for... So it's a struggle for everyone this winter, particularly. But I just love it. I love the walking along the towpath, the crunchy, ice cold frost under your feet, and then you walk in and your face melts, and it's like, woohoo! You know, I adore it in winter.
It's such a cozy space, isn't it? Like you go out and you're freezing, and you get in, and you know you've got your all everything that you need. So your kettle and everything you've got in a house, you've got on a boat, really, haven't you?
Yeah, absolutely adore it.
Yeah, such a cozy space. Love it.
Can I say I love this time of year? You know, absolutely. You know, in about this time of year, my two disadvantages are mud. I don't like the mud. I mean, I don't mind the mud, but like you know, when we was on our off-grid mooring, there was so much mud.
I know, I've seen that.
And we used to have to walk a long way, you know, like with the shopping, you know, in the mud, slipping and sliding. And the other thing is, by like 3:30 in the afternoon, when it becomes dark and you shut the curtains, it seems like a really long night, you know, sometimes. And I found myself just watching TV a whole heap more. But I actually love being on the boat in winter. I love winter cruising as well. It is my favourite time of year for cruising, actually, winter. So anyway, we went right off topic there. And do you know what? We've chatted for ages. So I have got some more questions, but I'm going to save them for another time.
Can we just have a quick before we go, because lots of people have come. Let's see if there's any.
Can I just say, Anthony's tuned in. He never tunes in when it's just us, Lisa.
I just want to say thanks to everybody that's come along to watch us
and
not knowing what we're doing.
No.
Yeah.
I'll just scroll it. I will use my mouse. Just want to see if there's any.
Yeah.
Yeah, because everyone's been so lovely, haven't they?
Yeah. Well, yeah, obviously, and quite honest about my shouty behaviour.
That was only one person. Who was it?
I think it was me typing away on the phone.
So many I don't know how people reading all this. I'm like,
no, it says a lot. Yeah,
I can see good, but I can't see text in the distance.
Yeah, it's difficult when they all come in. So I just want to say thank you to everybody for joining us. And sorry if we've not read all the messages. We will have a read through after. But, you know, it's so lovely. Heidi, thank you so much for joining us. And Paul for legging it down the towpath, so we didn't have such a delay on
it. I was on my best behaviour today. And
do you know what?
My mum will love it. Mum hates it.
I'm amazed. I'm just going to say, I was running to Heidi's boat, then I had to walk the last few yards, and boaters were shouting, "Hurry up, run!" So they're obviously watching. Yeah, very good. I'm proud.
Thank you, everybody. We love these conversations, don't we, Paul? We often, you know, do these on a Thursday where we just sort of, as I said, we just have a chat about something that's a little bit deeper than normal. Just have a look at something in our lives that, you know, we explore a bit more. So thank you for everybody for joining in. It's so lovely to see you, and hopefully we can all chat again soon. See ya. Bye.
Thanks everyone. Bye.